All right, let's take a look at our PSVR collection. She hates it when I do that. Yeah, PSVR collection. All right. I'm Scott.
I'm Jen.
We're Retro Rivals, and we're going to look at our PSVR collection.
Yes, at first, when he first did the intro, he said mine, and I was like, oh, what?
What?
Yeah.
Jen has these in alphabetical order.
Again.
I'm going to mess it up. First stack?
Yeah, no.
Which one's the first stack?
The first stack is the one closest. The
closest away from me.
Yeah.
The closest away from me. All right, I'm going to get it. All right, first one on the list is Astrobot Rescue Mission. This is one of the better looking games on the VR.
It's probably, arguably, the best one on the PSVR. When we say PSVR, this is the first PSVR, not PSVR 2. No. Just want to clarify. So you won't see any PSVR 2 games.
Super fun game. I don't have a problem playing it for longer than the recommended time. What is it, 45 minutes? I can't remember. They recommend a certain amount of time that you should switch out. I know I've sat and played this one for a couple hours.
You could play this for hours. It's not going to give you any nausea. It's very immersive. It's really, really fun.
It's really cool. Like there's some of those levels that I feel like I'm like, oh man, how many times did I say I wish Nintendo would do a Super Mario one like this?
Yeah.
World.
Yeah. Well, you said the first time you went underwater.
I wanted to hold my breath.
You wanted to hold your breath. Yeah, let me just hold my breath now. So yeah,
it take much to fool me.
It's a really, really good game, and it's arguably probably the best one on the system. There are some great ones, but this one will be the one everybody wants.
Well rounded.
Yeah.
Next one on the list. Blood and Truth.
Yes. So we had to educate ourselves on a few of these games because we haven't played them yet. Blood and Truth, I didn't realize how freaking good it was. I was watching the gameplay for it, and it was like a cop shooter, an action hero. Like, it's just really, really fun. You need to watch the gameplay for this because, it's one of those ones on the system.
I worry that, is it like an on-rail kind of
game?
No. Well, I worry because if it's that fast-paced, how nauseous is it?
But if people rave about this one as one of the better ones on the system, I'm assuming it probably is pretty good as far as like nausea and stuff. It's
heartburn, indigestion,
upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yeah, if you play too long, you're gonna get all those.
You're gonna get all of those. But yeah, it was. I looked at the gameplay of it and I thought it looked amazing.
Next one on the list.
I want to play it.
Batman Arkham VR.
So
let's do this one in our Batman voice.
I don't think I can.
Well, you could have there last week. You're sick of the cold.
That's right. I would have said it like Batman's grandma. But
I haven't touched this one.
This is a very short experience from what I'm gathering. I mean, most VR games are.
Yeah.
But people were saying it felt like an introduction to who Batman is in this one. It looked nice, but I don't know how much substance there is there. It would be nice to just play it and get it off the backlog because it is such a short experience. I think you can get this one done in under 2 hours.
Oh, there should be no reason why. Well, me and you could at least sit here and
hand it back and forth. Yeah.
That's the nice thing about the VR here on the PlayStation is that somebody can sit there and watch the TV. If you want to hand it back and forth, everybody's still experiencing the story because we've done that with the three of us.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later in the video here.
All right. Oh, this one's sealed. Oh. Doom 3 VR edition.
Yeah, it's Doom.
Obviously,
3.
we haven't played it yet.
No, we haven't played it yet. And
I've seen some gameplay that you captured there. Well, it looks pretty cool.
This one was cool. The other one, I was like, impressed by this one enough. No, the other one's way more impressive as far as like the visuals go. Really? I don't know how the gameplay is because we haven't played either one of them. But from what
this one here.
Yes, this one looked really cool.
VFR.
Yes.
Is this the one that was an exclusive of some kind?
It might be.
I can't remember why. I don't know. Maybe it was this one that I picked up. But one of these Doom games, I feel like I watched a video of somebody's on YouTube, and they said it was like an exclusive of a place like GameStop or something.
Oh, okay.
Like, get them because they're running out. And I'm like, well, I checked and I was able to grab one, and I have not touched it since.
Well, this one looked really cool. Like, this one looked more like it was the gameplay as far as the graphics weren't as polished. This one looked a lot more polished.
Okay.
And I thought it looked really, really... I could see myself playing this one.
Well, I'm wondering if that one, Doom 3 VR edition...
It's just Doom 3 in VR.
In VR, I'm wondering if that's the exclusive from somewhere.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Next one on the list is Don't Knock Twice.
This is probably one of your favorites.
This one I really enjoyed. Me, you, and Dennis sat down here and played it, and I got in the VR chair first, and
then never gave it up.
I never gave it up. It's not a long game. It was what, maybe 2-3 hours?
2-3 hours at the most. Yeah.
So I played the whole sitting there, and it's creepy puzzles.
Yeah.
Great for Halloween.
Oh yeah, we picked up a bunch of these just to play VR for Halloween. And we dabbled with some, and then others we played all the way through. This was one of those.
I do remember though.
It's like a ritual, is there not, or something going on?
Yeah, but I remember how I set it up is because when you're doing when you're moving in certain games, the frame rate's not enough, and you're getting nauseous. This might have been one of those ones where you can like kind of point and snap to it.
Oh yeah.
And you do like big wherever you're pointing, you can just click and you snap up to that area. So it was a lot easier to play it that way. You didn't get motion sickness.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was the one.
Well, there's a lot of them like that.
A lot of them
if you're getting motion sickness, change it so that you're doing that instead of
There's also going to be some of these that you don't even need a VR to play.
That's right. Yeah, they'll say compatible. So I think this one is one that you might not need the VR because it says compatible.
Yeah.
Or VR mode included is one that I know for sure.
I don't even know how to say that.
I think it's Deracine. I think it's just a French.
I did not.
It's not a French game.
I did not play this.
No, neither did I. I bought it thinking it was like a horror game.
No.
I think there's like some creepy undertone or some like, oh, it's a little bit, spooky, but it's really not. I watched some gameplay of it. I'm gonna play it. It just seems like it's kind of a...
waste of money?
No, a puzzle game. I got it for a really good price. It looked interesting from the gameplay I had watched. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot.
It might be an enjoyable experience in VR.
Yes.
You'll have to give it a
Well, that was like another one, The Invisible Hours. I didn't play that one in VR, even though it was available in VR.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been better in VR. It just felt lackluster, not in VR.
All right, next one.
Yep.
Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yes.
You have not played this one yet.
I know.
Somebody sent this to you.
Loco sent that to me because I was looking for it at Siege.
VR required.
Yes.
Have to.
I was looking for it at Siege when we went in 2023. Yeah. Couldn't find it because it's a PAL. And I don't know that everybody would love it. It's probably more kiddish than most people want, but because it's Alice in Wonderland, I want to play it.
Jen has like
I have a little, I don't know if it's just the lore of Alice in Wonderland or what it is. I enjoy it. So I know I'll enjoy it. Maybe most people wouldn't, but I know I'm going to enjoy it for the lore.
All right. Next one. We played it. We did not give it enough time. It is
didn't.
Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted.
And I think this one you might be able to not play in VR because it says compatible. But it's saying mode included, so you don't necessarily have to play it in VR, which I think is what it is. See, we played the very first part of it.
The very first part,
we're in a booth,
sitting in a booth, and
watching
you have
the
cameras, and you have to turn them on and off or whatever. And all three of us gave up on it.
We did.
Quick.
We did, but we were trying to get through a lot of horror games before Halloween to do a video. And I just don't think we gave this one enough time.
No, I've heard people say this.
I have too, so I don't want to give up on it. That's why it's still in the collection.
Okie dokie. We have one that's sealed.
I know.
Firewall. 0 Hour.
Yes.
What can you tell me of this other than it's a shooter? I do believe I picked this up for my son.
That's exactly.
Still sealed.
That's exactly what
son,
it is.
Come and play your game.
Yeah, that's exactly why we got it, was because we really thought Alex would enjoy playing it. I think that is the game that when we had the big box with the gun, I do believe that was included in there in the package, but we ended up finding a gun on its own, and we were like, we don't really we're not big box collectors, so we were like, well, we can trade this.
Traded the big box, so kept the gun, got a single copy of that.
It was because it was cheap, and so it's still sealed. We might get them down here to play it eventually.
Might be a must play for all we know.
Yeah, it could be.
Home Sweet Home.
Yes. This was another one that you do not have to play
Mode
in VR.
included, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to play it in VR.
Remind me, Jenna, this one does not ring a bell for me for
Well,
some
you're
reason.
sneaking around
That's most
in
of
this house where there's like this woman, and she's like, it kind of gave me vibes of another game I had played, Ju-on the Grudge. It kind of gave me that vibe of that woman kind of chasing you around. Yeah. And there are some bigger creatures too where you could hide behind some stuff. But I tried to play it in VR and I was getting really motion sickness. And then I started playing it not in VR and I was like, I could see myself enjoying this. Just, I never think about it because it's in the VR section and we don't always have the VR out. But it is one I think I would really enjoy and I gotta play the rest of it.
All right. The Impatient makes you impatient.
Yeah, for wanting more.
The ending was so lackluster.
The concept is there. It's there. It's a choice-based... Like, it's not a survival horror, but it's like a creepy...
You're in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks good.
It does.
The puzzles are decent, and the creep factor's there.
Yeah.
And the ending is lackluster.
It's a Supermassive games. Yeah. So I assumed I was going to love it because we have most of the Supermassive games, excluding the PSVR 2 game that they have. We just don't have a PSVR 2. But everything was there for it to be a great game, except it never really got all the way exciting. Like, it really, the lead up was great and then it fell flat. It just didn't, it had nothing at the end.
Next on the list is Iron Man.
Another sealed one.
VR. I picked it up. If people tell me it's fantastic, I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, basically, if you ever want to
be
Iron Man.
We've pulled off like real hard on VR. Like when we first picked it up, we were like all in. Yeah. Especially during Halloween, it was amazing. And I was like one of these ones I had to grab. I'm sure people would still tell you it's fantastic. I just have not touched it yet.
Well, I think it's gonna
first person view Iron Man. You're like
Iron
inside
Man.
of the helmet. Yeah, you're Iron Man.
I think what's gonna happen, and Steve and I were talking about this. Actually, we were on the phone for like 2 hours talking about VR games. We both believe that this is a cooling period right now for the VR. The VR 2 seems to be going nowhere. At some point, these are going to become collectible. Very collectible because the VR headsets are going to not last forever. Mm-hmm. And people are going to want the tech and they're going to want the games. And now is probably the time to buy them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. The Killing Floor double feature.
So it's 2 games.
2 games in one.
2 games in one. It's basically shooters. It's like just shooters. Pick off as many enemies as you can, run through the level. That's what the sense gave me when I was watching some gameplay of it. We haven't played either one of them. I think it would be more... I do believe
you picked that one up.
Yes. I do believe it would be more of Alex's... It does have some horror elements to it, so that's why I thought I would enjoy it. But I think it would be more Alex's style. He was hot on VR for a while, but more the Oculus than the PSVR.
Yeah.
Just because he could take the Oculus and just go wherever with it.
You're not stuck with a wire.
Yeah, he doesn't have a PlayStation PS4 in his room.
All right. This, I would say, was arguably one of the better games.
Yes.
It's Moss.
Yes.
I do believe the physical copy of this game is probably around $100
It's
or
pricey.
more.
Yeah, it might have come down. We're not sure, but the last time we checked it was...
Digitally, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Great looking little game. You're kind of a top-down view. Mm-hmm. You're watching the little mouse. You're controlling him, but you're kind of watching from above like you're a giant and you're getting him to run through the area.
Yeah.
Great looking little game. Highly recommend it. Great experience. Probably what? 4 hours or something?
Yeah.
We had it on the back. Yeah, 4 hour main game.
Yeah, I want to get Moss Book 2. I keep wanting
That's only on the second.
No,
VR.
it's on the first one. But
you sure?
Yes, it got announced before the the PSVR 2 came out, but it's only digital. And I think we were like holding out hope it would come out physically.
A lot of these games are not compatible with the PSVR 2.
Most of yeah.
Because the controls are different.
Yeah. So that's... If you want to play them, you have to have the first one. We thought about getting rid of it when we thought they would be backwards compatible, but I'm happy we didn't.
Yeah. It's kind of irritating, though.
It is irritating.
Should make that stuff backwards compatible.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. We did play a fair amount of this.
Yeah.
The Persistence.
Yeah.
gave me a lot of
Alien Isolation.
Isolation, but also what's the Dead Space vibes?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of Dead Space vibes. I think do you need to play it? Yeah, I think you need to play it in VR.
It made me hella nauseous.
I really wish you could play it not in VR.
I agree.
It's a long game, I think.
Yeah.
For VR,
for
I
a
think
VR
it's
game,
up there.
I think it's a little bit longer.
But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it says PSVR required.
Yeah,
so unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
But what we played of it was really cool. It's just
I handled the nauseous part of VR way better than you.
I
had a hard time with it.
I have a hard time with some first-person games.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you throw me into a VR game that's really, shuddery or just not, it's.
All right, another Halloween theme game. We have Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul. This
one made me scream. Dennis and I were screaming, and you were just kind of. But you enjoyed the game.
The game was cool.
You enjoyed watching it.
It takes a lot to make me jump scared.
Yeah.
Didn't we get a couple of DLCs for this too?
No, you're thinking.
No, I'm thinking of a different game.
Yeah, right, you're thinking of a different game we only have digitally because it was only available digitally.
Darn, I don't even know if I remember this one.
Yes, because you're walking through the house.
How many of those games are in here?
That's right. But it's paranormal activity. Things are moving. Yeah. You see a spirit come into the room. I think it's a little girl.
See, I love that ghost stuff.
It was really, really interesting. We started out outside.
Yeah.
And we walked into the house, and I think there was a grave outside. Do you remember that?
Nope.
And I was like, don't fall in the hole. But
I can't remember that.
Yeah, and at the end, they're all set up on the floor with, like, a ritual going on, and there's things flying around in the air.
Yeah, that kind of rings a bell now.
Yeah. You remember being in the basement?
There's about 4 of those games.
Yeah, there's about 4 of them. This one is really cool. The one you're thinking of that we downloaded for was... The
Exorcist.
Exorcist, Legions.
All right, we have Rick and Morty Virtual Reality.
Yes. You played a bit of this.
I did not like it. Maybe I didn't give it a long enough time, but it was basically kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's. You're stuck in a booth. I felt like I was stuck in the garage, and I was just like, this is stupid. This is stupid. I played for probably an hour, and I'm like, this is stupid.
maybe you didn't play it long enough.
Maybe.
I
love Rick and Morty.
You do.
Love Rick and Morty. I've seen all the seasons except for the latest season, but I love Rick and Morty. That's stupid. All right, this one here, Roller Coaster Tycoon Joyride. Ooh.
Vomit Fest.
You know what's fun?
So much fun.
Let your son create a track and then torture people. I'm like, build the craziest track you can. Yeah. I don't care.
He had so much fun with that, and he had so much fun watching people get nauseous or get scared.
Or Dennis just freaking out. Dennis is freaking out.
Dennis was hanging on to the chair because we play in a swivel chair.
Yeah.
And we point a fan at you, and Dennis was hanging onto the swivel chair and closing his eyes and shooting. And I'm like, you're not even in there anymore. He's like, I know I am though. It was hilarious watching Dennis play it, and he'd take it off his head, the VR, and it's just a sweat.
He's soaked.
I'm like, it's not a real roller
coaster. It takes
like,
what, like 3 minutes to go through a track?
It's something like that.
Yeah. All right, what's this one?
Skyrim.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim VR.
The whole game.
You got this because you played it. You thought, oh my god, that would be cool in VR. Not cool enough to open.
And here's the thing. Do I ever see myself playing it completely in VR? No. But I would love to...
Go into an experience. You've already played the game.
I would love to walk through the world, because I've walked through it on the PS4, but I haven't walked through the world in, virtual reality, and I think that would be really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
just
love to go
Because you've already experienced it, you're like, I'd like to really see what it looks
I could just kind of pop in, pop out. And...
Not my kind of game, Skyrim.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that.
Maybe I'll mature someday.
Well, it's an action RPG, so...
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, this one is awesome. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition because it has VR included. You don't
But it also has the DLC, I do believe. Yeah.
I will tell you what. Playing this in VR, it's really cool. It's different. It's like... It's almost, when you're in that building, it's like it's almost, the air is full of dust, but it's just the way the pixels move and stuff. But I remember I walked up to the window, and I leaned and I looked, and you could see a light on the outside of the house.
Yeah.
But like super cool, but oh my god, you're gonna get nauseous.
Oh, so nauseous.
I played up until the first boss fight where you're in the car.
In the car, yeah. And that freaked you out though, like.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah,
it was so that didn't freak me out, like scare me, but I thought it was awesome because I had played it before, but I didn't play it in VR. Yeah. I was like, this is so freaking cool, and then you take it off and you're like, bleh,
oh yeah, I've played all through the game too, but I can't do the VR. It really makes me nauseous, but I'm happy we have it.
I wish they could fix it so that you could go and experience that without getting nauseous.
Do you know what I wish you could do? I wish you could pop into a certain part in the game in VR and just play that part. And pop out and pop in and pop out. Yeah. Because some of those boss fights would be cool to go experience and be like, okay, I did that for 15 minutes. Yeah. Now I'm going to go throw up. And I'm done with that for a while.
I was about a half an hour or so max, and I was like, whoa, I'm getting sick. Yeah. Yep. All right. We have The Walking Dead Onslaught Deluxe Edition.
Yes. So I did play quite a bit of this too.
Played a decent chunk of this.
Yeah, you get to go play as different characters in The Walking Dead. It is less comprehensive than Saints and Sinners, but it's more of it's like.
Speaking of which, we might as well bring that in
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saints and Sinners. We might as well talk about both at the same time. I get them mixed up.
Saints and Sinners.
We played them both around the same time.
Yes. Onslaught, you're just going in and you're like basically killing zombies as they come on the screen.
You don't kill zombies in Saints and Sinners?
No, but you're going from A to B in this. There's no real kind of... It doesn't feel as much like there's a mission to it like there is to this one.
Okay.
This one, you're healing, you're loading your bullets, you're checking your notebook.
Speaking of loading bullets, I think... was it Dennis? He was like, zombies are coming and he's loading his gun. And then he goes to shoot or something, and he lifts his gun up, and the bullets all fall out, and they're on the ground, and he's trying to pick them up.
He doesn't put the chamber.
Yeah, you gotta. I don't know if you gotta do this.
Yeah, you have to do this to make the chamber go back in to actually shoot. And it was hilarious. So he's bending down and picking them up one at a time and seeing the zombies come closer.
That's hilarious.
It was so much fun.
And then the other thing, which one was it where you tried to hang yourself?
That one. I just started spinning.
Well, yeah, because we have like the barge stool that's on a swivel, so she got surrounded by zombies and she just started going around and around and around. Me and Dennis are looking at her like, and see that cable just getting tighter and tighter.
And he's like, she's gonna pull that off the wall unit, so he had to physically grab the chair and stop me. He's like, you need to stop because you're gonna...
she just kept going around and around.
It was hilarious.
All right, next one. I haven't played this one yet.
No.
Trover Saves the Universe. Now, from my understanding is if you like Rick and Morty kind of humor, this is a similar kind of humor. I haven't touched it yet. I'm probably not going to play it in VR. I might try it.
Is it mode included? So you don't have to have the VR.
This looks like an actual game, where the Rick and Morty game, I don't know what it was. It's just you're
it's from the co-creators of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So
this one here, you're just in the garage from what I've seen, and I was like, okay, this is stupid.
I just live here.
I just want to play like a mission or something.
Yeah.
Last one. Probably one of my favorite games. It's Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. We've talked about it multiple times on this. It's kind of a ritual here in the game room. Yeah. People come in we're having a little bit of a party. You get the hot seat where you get to play this in VR.
The only time I've genuinely seen Scott get scared in a game, and I was like, I don't want to do it.
They got me once.
They got you once.
Got me once real good there, and I couldn't get back down there. Got you. Whoa!
Yeah, once they get you up there, you can't get back down.
Like I almost fell out of the chair. There was one spot where... Was it 2 ghost girls?
Yeah.
And it does well because it waits for you to see it, right? So I'm like, you see it there, and you're like, you're looking, and you hear something, and you look over there, and you're like, you got the gun, you're ready to shoot something.
And creepy music is playing in the background.
And your hair's all standing up, and then I'm like, where in the hell did she go? And you hear something right there, and you turn around, and it's right in your face.
Yeah. It's an on-rail shooter. You're on a roller coaster, and like it's just creepy and fun, and you don't get scared really the second time around. You play it the third time around, but it's still fun every time to try to beat your high score.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just...
I almost lost my voice in that, but...
You almost lost your voice. So that's 25 PS VR games. They are super fun. Some more than others.
Some more than others, for sure.
Some more than others. There's probably still some we wouldn't mind adding to the collection, but for now, we have the 25.
Wow. My watch is buzzing.
Yeah,
so
we did.
It tells me that we're out of time.
we're out of time, so I guess all we have to say now is until next time, game on.